Hello everyone, this is part 5 of how to create characters in Anime Studio tutorial series. In this tutorial, I will show you how to do body turn using smart bones. So the first thing that you want to do is create a bone and call it turn, and then change the color of it to purple or any other color that you want. And after you're done, change the head, the arm, leg, and torso bones to a different color, and this will make it easier for you to animate later. After you're done, create a new action and call it turn. Make sure that your actions have the same name as your smart bones, or else it will just be a regular action. Move the cursor 2 seconds into the action and then rotate the turn bone 90 degrees to the left. We will create the side view of the character, and Anime Studio will create the in-between for us, so we will also have a 3/4 view then. So to start, what you need to do is move the bones to the position that I'm showing you on the screen. And this does not have to be exact, this is an approximation for now. The position will probably change later on. Before we move on, I want you to click on each layer inside the Kim folder and check Allow Animated Layer Effects. And this is so that we can change the layer order when we create the side view and the 3/4 view. After you're done, click on Kim, click on Masking, then check Enable Animated Layer Order. And now we can change the order of the layers inside the Kim folder. Before we move on, a slide modification needs to be done. Take the vector layers out of the feet switch layers, rename them, then use the Bind Layer tool to bind the vector layers to the bones. This is so that we can change the feet for the body turns. This was not possible when they were in the switch layers. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to change the order of the layers. We need to bring the left arm back and also the left leg. So make sure to grab everything, including the left arm and right arm. They are located right under the torso. They were not together with the left forearm and the left hand, so make sure not to forget that. And just bring that under everything. And now take off the outline from the pelvis so that it doesn't show from under the legs anymore. Rotate the arms and the legs so that they're straight down. Make sure to save regularly. And try to save different versions of the file like I've mentioned before, just in case your file becomes corrupted. I mentioned earlier that the position of the arms and legs could change. So you should move the arm and leg bones. The arm bone should be a little bit behind the neck. When you're done with that, start editing the torso points, I didn't actually end up making it look very much like the picture that I drew. I changed the design a little bit. Unless you're using the exact same character as me, this shouldn't really be too much of a problem. The great thing about Anime Studio is that once you modify the points, like what I'm doing right now with the side view, if you move your cursor to, let's say, frame 1, not frame 1, I'm sorry, to the frame 24, then you will see that you can see Kim's 3/4 view about, and you don't really have to do much since Anime Studio creates the in-betweens for you. If you can't add points, then go to Edit Preferences and disable Enable Drawing Tools only on frame 0, and this will allow you to add points at any time during your animation, but not actions, as I just realized. So you don't really have to have this unchecked at the moment, but I still think that it's good to have it disabled already, so you don't have to worry about it. Here I'm just slightly editing the bows on her shirt to make it look like she's turning sideways a little bit, not too much, or else it looks a little weird if it's too accurate. So I just modified it slightly. Here I'm editing the neck a little more and the whole torso, just adjusting a little bit, making it look better, adjusting the undershirt, things like that, not doing too much. The pelvis needs to be hidden. It doesn't have to be any particular shape, it just needs to be out of sight. Yeah, moving the legs back a little more. I usually make the left leg a little bit higher than the right leg to make it look like it's further back. You can also scale the leg if you want instead of moving it up, but it looks about the same, so I just stick with the shifting. You don't really have to worry about the patch layers since they were bound by the bones, so they were removed automatically already. Here I'm changing the points on the leg, making them look like it's sideways, making it more round. For the foot, take the tip of the foot, so the lowest point that's right in the middle, and try to make it also the middle point when you move sideways. It will just create a smoother animation, smoother in betweens, like that. As you can see, it's not very smooth like this, so that point needs to be moved to the right to create a smoother animation. And this will also create less work when we're working on the 3/4 view. There actually isn't a lot of work for the 3/4 view, but sometimes there are some things that need to be changed to make it look better, of course. When working on the left foot, it's a good idea to hide the right foot. For the left foot, I do the same thing as I did for the right foot. It's not exactly the same, of course, but I'll try to make it as close as possible when you're working on your character. I decided here that one of my points was too thick, so I used the change width tool to change it. If you have a similar problem, you can do that as well. Over here, I'm trying to cover that empty area. I could have just created another point to fix that. It's something that you can do if you have this problem, but I just decided not to do that. For the buttons, I just scaled them down and rotated. You can use the curvature tool to change the curves of the points. When you scale circles, they tend to look more kind of awkward unless you do that, as you can see if you scale them down too much. So you should use the curvature tool. Right, so I think we're done here. You can click on render to see how your character looks like. Now I'm just changing some things. Add frame 24, which is the 3/4 frame for me, so that things look better in this view. Of course, the in-betweens will not be perfect, so some adjustments need to be made, which is what I'm doing right now with the feet. There aren't really a lot of areas, any modifications for my character. It really depends on the character that you're working with. Some characters are more complex. Of course, the shapes are different and everything. So just look at your character, and if you think that things need to be changed anywhere between frame 0 and 48, then do so, of course. Here I thought the arm was too forward, so I decided to move it further back in the side view so that it also brings it further back in the 3/4 view. I shifted the leg slightly so that it looks more 3/4 view-ish. like I said before, you can also scale the legs to make them different, a different height. Alright, this is the end of this tutorial. To see what you've just made, just click on main line, then click anywhere in the line, and then rotate the turn bone, and you should see your character rotate with it. In the next tutorial, I will show you how to do a head turn. If you have a problem with gradient like I'm having right now, then you probably need to take off the bone strength. Alright, so now it's fixed. Like I said, in the next video tutorial, I will show you how to make a head turn, which is a little bit more complicated, but the idea is very similar. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already.